What's up, guys? My name is Marco Espino Valle, and today I'm going to be telling you 5 do's and 5 don'ts of college freshman year. With the first do being do eat. Be sure to eat food. You won't be working quite right without food. So for my second tip is to visit the library. I've actually been to the library a few times. It's pretty cool, actually. Quiet. You could get some work done because it's pretty easy to zone in and focus in the library. I'm standing in front of the statue of Ramses II for tip number 3: to always to always look both ways before crossing the street. Yeah, all of us are gonna have to cross the street at some point, and should definitely look twice before crossing. I'm about to use tip number 3 to cross the street to get to tip number 5. But before I do, we're going to talk about tip number 4. Do look at a map. I remember the first day, the weekend before classes began, I showed up to this very map and took a picture that I still use occasionally to know where my classes were and figure out the best route to get to them. Use a map. Now I'm on the other side of the street, and right in front of the wellness center, which I refer to as the gym. I suggest going to the gym. I tried to do that quite a bit. I haven't been able to recently because I've been focusing on schoolwork. But go to the gym. It's good. I think it works. It's good. And that brings us that brings us to the 5 do nots. I am now in my dorm, and I'm actually recording this after all the others. My first do not is to do not stay up too late. It is currently a respectable, well, it's in the afternoon, but it's definitely best to not be awake 12 hours from now, to not be awake at 1 in the morning. You're probably not gonna be able to get to class on time or actually get enough sleep. Second do not is to not procrastinate. Check Canvas often. Check the calendar on campus. And you're trying to stay ahead of things. I know it's not easy, but definitely make an attempt to not procrastinate. For our third do not is going to be a simple one, being do not forget to lock your car. I don't have my car on campus. It's just a genuine, a good tip to have, to not forget to lock your car. The fourth do not I suggest is to do not be late to class. It's another general advice, but don't be late to class. It's just easier to do well if you're on time, and there's just something about being on time. And so that leads us to our final tip. Our final do not being, do not count yourself out. Do not give up. Push through and get help from others if you probably should do that as well. But do not count yourself out. And that's it. That's 5 do's and 5 do nots for our first semester of freshman year.